right, we're going to start video number 2 here with circles. And we're going to talk about radius, diameter, and circumference. So your radius is r equals d over 2, or radius equals 1/2 times d, which the d stands for your diameter. Or your diameter equals 2 times your radius. So take your diameter, divide by 2, and it will give you your radius. Or if you have your radius, multiply it by 2, and it will give you your diameter. So here is if QV equals 8, so if this right here equals 8, that is your radius. What is the diameter? So to figure out your diameter, all you need to do is do 2 times 8, which is 16. So the entire diameter from U to T would be 16. Two circles can intersect or touch and have two different centers in two different ways. So circles can 2 points of intersection. And for these two circles right here, your 2 points of intersection would be D and C. And they each have their own separate centers. Over here on this next one here, circle C and circle D both intersect right there at E. So this has 1 point of intersection. So you can either intersect 2 times or you can intersect 1 time, and that's called a point of tangency, and we're going to talk about tangency later on in videos down the line. The diameter of S is 30. So the entire thing from right here, from C to the very end over here, this entire thing is 30. The diameter of R is 20. So from the very end here to where point D is, that is 20. So if the diameter of S is 30, the radius would have to be 15. So the radius from, let's say, C to S is 15. And then the radius of circle C, or circle R, is from R to D. Your radius, if the whole entire diameter is 20, that would mean your radius is 10. Because remember, the radius is half of your diameter. So in both of these cases, we know what the diameter is. Now it says DS equals 9. So this part right here, DS, is 9. So this section is 9. We need to figure out CD and RC. Well, if I know from C to S is 15, and I know DS, and this is the part that I need to figure out over here, all I need to do is take 15 minus 9 equals 6. And that is your answer for that part right there. Next question is asking for RC. RC is the section right here. And we just learned that this right here is going to be 6. So if I know from R to D is 10, I need to do 10 minus 6, which gives me 4. So CD would be 6, and then RC is 4. And if by chance, if I needed to figure up the whole thing, I can just do 4 plus 6 plus 9, whatever I needed to do there to figure out any other things if I needed to. And you do have a problem similar to this in your assignment that you will have. All right, moving on here. We have, now we're going to talk about circumference. So circumference is the distance around a circle. Remember, that is a symbol for circle. So your circumference, you may be familiar with the formula pi times diameter, Or you may be familiar with 2 pi times your radius. And the reason why this one's going to be 2 times pi times r is because, remember, you got to multiply by 2 to get to your diameter. So our first problem here is find the circumference if the diameter is 12 inches. Answer in terms of pi and as a decimal to the hundredths. And we're going to go through what in terms of pi means here. So if I'm given the diameter, I'm just going to use pi times d. So if I want it in terms of pi, I'm going to plug the 12 in for d. And I'm just going to leave it with pi on there. So 12 pi, this is your answer if it's telling you to leave it in terms of pi. And this would also be inches. So 12 pi inches. If you want it as a decimal, you would do, your circumference is 3.14 times 12. And 3.14 times 12 will be 37.68 inches. So depending on what you have there, which one that you actually need, you've got in terms of pi and you've got it in decimal form. We are going to do find C, which is your circumference, if r equals 18 meters. Answers in terms of pi and as a decimal form. C equals 2 pi times 18, and I'm using this formula this time because I got radius, so I'm using 2 pi r. 2 times pi times 18 in terms of pi, you would just have 36 pi, and we are in meters, and that would be in terms of pi. Your circumference as a decimal would be 2 times 3.14 times 18, and as a decimal, that's going to come out to be 113.04 meters. Okay, find the diameter and radius to the nearest hundredth if your circumference equals 106.4 inches. So in this case, since I'm needing my diameter, I'm just going to use pi times d. So circumference is going to go into the circumference plot. And it doesn't say anything about in terms of pi or anything like that. So I'm just going to take it to decimals. And I'm just going to divide by 3.14. So my pi's cancel out. So 106.4 divided by 3.4 will be 33.89. Now to figure out the radius, all I need to do is take my diameter and divide it by 2. So my radius will come out to be 16.94. So I have my diameter and I also have my radius. All right, the last part here. A polygon is inscribed in a circle if all of its vertices lie on the circle. So this polygon, this four-sided figure, is inscribed in the circle. Remember, inscribed means it's inside of it. So quadrilateral, and to name a quadrilateral, you use all the vertices. So B, C, D, E is inscribed in circle A. Okay, so inscribed means it's inside of it. In this next one here, a circle is circumscribed about a polygon if it contains all of the vertices of the polygon. So what this means is circumscribed, it's on the outside. The circle is on the outside of the polygon, so it's circumscribed. So circle D is circumscribed about quadrilateral HEFG. All right, and we're going to do one last problem right here. And you're going to have an example of this also in your assignment. So you need to see a square with side lengths 9 inches is inscribed in circle J. So all of these sides in this are 9 inches because this is a square. Find the circumference of circle J. Now for circumference, I need to know one of these two formulas up here. And if I look at this, there's not a diameter or a radius right now, but I can form a radius or a diameter from this. Because remember, for your radius or diameter, it goes from the center to the edge of the circle or goes through the center. So if I make a diagonal right here, and this diagonal happens to go right through the center, I have a diameter. So I want to use C equals pi d. Well, I don't know my diameter, so I'm going to have to figure that out. And if you notice right here, I form a triangle. And I know two sides of this triangle. This is a right triangle because this is a square. So I'm going to have to remember back to middle school a special formula. And that special formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is your Pythagorean theorem. And the Pythagorean theorem is going to come back to you a lot. Your A and your B's are your legs of your triangle. And your C is your hypotenuse. In this case, your hypotenuse is your diameter. Okay? So we're going to put in this, for your legs, we're going to put 9 in there. So 9 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. Well, 9 squared is 81 plus 81 equals c squared. 81 plus 81 is 162 equals c squared. To get rid of the square, remember you have to take the square root of that. And if you're using your phone calculator, remember if you turn it to the side, you get more features. And you're going to type in 162 and you're going to find the square root button. And the square root of 162 is 12.73. Now, this is not circumference. This is the hypotenuse. And what did we say at the beginning of the hypotenuse was? We said this was your diameter. So since I know my diameter now, I can use this formula right here. So circumference equals 3.14 times 12.73. And using my calculator or on my phone is 39.97. And that would be my answer right there. And I should probably say inches. Now you can complete the worksheet and you will have all the work that you need.